I'm from the Bronx, New York. My name is Michael Cruz. I'm 65 years young. I feel like I'm 65 years old. No.
You have to speak up a little louder.
My name is Michael Cruz. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm 65 years old. I've been in the art scene since I was exposed to it early in my life, about maybe 5 or 6 years old. When I saw my mother, she brought this picture home. It was a valley. It had cows and everything, and I used to just immerse myself into the picture. I knew every part of that picture. And one day I came home from school and the picture was gone. And nobody stole it. I guess my mother sold it, you know. But it was like something it was taken from me that I couldn't like mourn, like cry about it. But I just kept it in, and I was like, okay. So I had a friend named Charles. When I first met him, he used to always laugh at me. I'm like, what are you laughing at, man? Like, but we became best friends. But he was an artist. His stepfather, I went to his house. He had Siamese cats and Gibson amplifier and a Gibson guitar. It wasn't his, it was his stepfather's. And Charles, he went to music and art in New York, and I went to John F. Kennedy High School. And he used to always draw his cats. He used to always see all these pictures in this room. And his stepfather's name was Sonny. And Sonny used to come in the room, he used to look at the pictures, and we used to talk, right? And I didn't know I was in the midst of this person who wrote a song for Santana. I think it was Evil Ways. He wrote the song, you could look it up on the album. He said, I wrote that song for Santana, which one? Evil Ways. I said, oh, you did? He said, yes. He says, I'm a professional songwriter, that's all he does. He said, he's like, indulge a lot, but he put out some good music and what have you. So, but Charles used to draw. I played the trumpet in school. So I used to always ask Charles to draw for me. So Charles, he said, what do you want to draw? I said, draw that wino over there with the Johnny pump, which is the hydrant, and a drip of water, and he's talking to somebody with the lights dimming and the liquor store's closing. So he drew it, boom, boom, boom. So then I knew that was my calling, because when I brought it upstairs, the picture, because he did it in charcoal. No, he did it in charcoal. I brought it upstairs, and my older brother, he looked at the picture, and he had a comment. He said, what's that? A degenerate giving somebody advice or something. I said, I didn't I didn't know what a critic was until he said that. And I said, no. I said, that person, his name is Charlie Riggs. And what he's doing, he's telling this youth not to be like him, to be more of himself, blah, blah, blah. He's like, then my brother, he looked at me, he said, and looked at the picture, said, oh, okay. So that was my beginning. So then the graffiti came, started signing on buses and trains. But I didn't really like to do that because I was afraid of the third rail.
Right.
And I didn't want to get caught because I just didn't want to see no cops or anything. So I used to just sign on stickers, and I used to slap it on the bus, or I used to slap it on the train. So therefore, I was stress-free from being caught.
That's a good idea.
Graffiti. So my musical career was when I was in the 7th grade. Well, 6th grade, the teacher came to school from the other school, and he started testing people. So he tested us on, you know, these things and whatever, you know, and he said, blah, 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 and you had to repeat it, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, I was in music school, music class. 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, we played Mission Impossible, Mod Squad. The last one was Beethoven's Fifth. I was the first trumpet.
Okay.
But our school was honorable to go to, like, what's that, Carnegie Hall. And the teacher, you know, he would have, even though you played all those, he'd have you, you know, sit down and do something, you know, audition. So
Right.
he says, okay, Michael, go up there and audition. I said, okay. He says, okay. I said, okay. I was like the frog that didn't sing. So he's like, what's the problem? I says, I don't know how to read. He said, what? I said, I don't know how to read music. I didn't like, you know, I don't know how to read music. He said, he was upset. He said, all right, leave the stage. But how did I get to that class for 3 years and play and he didn't hear? Because my friend Bobby Green was right here. And all I did was I looked at his fingers for 3 freaking years. And listen, I got a great ear for music. So that's how I did it. So, but I didn't know the politics behind him not allowing me to go with the class to play. So I graduated, went to Kennedy High School, and then there was a program because I was like really hyper. So whatever I wanted to do, I did it. So I used to go to school, and then I used to stay in school because we had a lot of woods around our school. So one day the teacher came down. He says, "Yo, Michael, come here. He says, come with me, right?" He says, "Look, there's a program in school that is 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. You just do the 3 R's, and then you can go anywhere in New York City you want for the other end of the day." I said, "Really?" There was only 300 students, and about 28 students got picked, and I was one of them. So after I finished the RRRs, they said, "Where you want to go?" I said, "The Museum of Natural History." Let me do that for a little while. I went down there and said, "Oh, I didn't like that." So they said, "What else?" "International House of Photography." I went to the Internet on 5th Avenue. I didn't like that either. I said, let me do that one. I said, "Which one?" I said, "WBAI radio station." So he sent me there, and all these albums and everything, and I was like, whoa. So I just started, you know, sorting out the albums for people, you know, the DJs and everything. So I got to learn. So I met this woman named Alma John. Anybody ever heard of Alma John? Alma John was like Whoopi Goldberg. Check her out. She had an Alma John show, right? And she had her African garb on, and she had her hair in a turban, and she came over and said, Come here, you." She said, "Always remember somebody's name." She said, "Always remember somebody's name." "Okay, Miss Johnson. Okay, Miss Johnson. Miss John." And that was my, so I told the story about I met, you know, Gil Scott-Heron, right, and a few other people through this, you know, downtown and, you know, being exposed. So years later, I went to college, and I went to college, and I didn't have a diploma. So, just like the story with the reading, they got to me the last semester, right? They says, "Michael, where's your diploma at?" I said, "I don't have a diploma." He says, you have to leave the school." What happened was, I had read in the paper, said, if you go to college and you get 23 credits, you can get a diploma. And I had 19 credits before they collared me. So I said, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" So I said, So I called up another college, and they said, we'll take you in. So I got 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I got 4 credits, and I got my diploma. They sent it to New York State.
Oh, okay.
So after that, I said, okay. So I went to college. So I went to Atlantic Cape Community a couple of years later, and I did a sculptor course in there. And the sculptor course, I didn't know how to sculpt, but they showed me, and we had the core curriculum. So I looked at the core, I didn't even look at the core curriculum, I just looked at it, and I just started, molding. So I molded this piece, and then I put it in the kiln, and I didn't color it, I just, made it look like Aztec and natural. And then when it came out, the teacher said, her and the senior student said they was at awe with it. And when I came to school to go pick it up, it wasn't even in school, it was in a container, a case, Atlantic Cape Community. And I like, oh wow, that's my stuff in there. You know what I mean? And I still got like a 75 in the class. I'm like, forget it. But it's okay. So, but again, years later, again, I was exposed in Harlem at Mart 125 on 125th Street. I had a little shop in there, and I used to be outside, and I used to design hats for the Koreans downtown. They used to sell it to the people up in Harlem, and I just got tired of selling my art ideas to other people that wasn't giving me my compensation. So I just left that, and I came, came to New Jersey, and I met Raymond, right, through the arts, through poetry, and I just started. I had a friend, and he said, "Mike, you do good art." And I said, "I do." He said, "Yeah." He said, "No." He said like this. He said, Dr. J or anybody, they got to jump, right? They got to jump. He says, "You're up there with them." I said, "Okay." And next thing you know, I just started doing art. So I got a big mural back there as well. That was from Philadelphia. That's a 60 by 40. I took that to Philadelphia, and I went in front of the City Hall, and I drew it right there, and I brought it back here from. So, and this was when I was in Jamaica. This right here, this inspired me when I was in Jamaica. This right here, this is these are cashews. Those are cashews. And this is a light fixture, and that is a tea bag, right? A used one, right?
Okay.
And so I just superimposed that on this, and bingo, that's art without me drawing. Sometimes I get lazy. I let the art do what it do, right? And then this one is this one right here. I don't know what I'm going to call this one yet, but this is all last of this is last of all of my paints. And I didn't have no more. I didn't have no more money, right? I had another one prior to this one. And I had no more money, and I was like, I got to make at least 20, because I draw on the boardwalk, right, in the morning time, just for myself for 3 hours, right by Trop. And I was like, and I zapped it out, and somebody bought it, and I was like, and I used the rest on this one, and I brought it to you. But I'm just saying,
Right.
But this is I have about maybe 300 pieces.
Okay.
I have over 300 pieces and stuff. So the art inspired me. People inspire me because, like you said, everybody knows what they see in your art, whether you see it or not. And that's I had a couple of sales a couple of days ago, and the person says, I see what I see. He said, I see a whale. I thought it was a little dolphin, but you see a whale. Well, I'm going to talk to him out of it, right? So that's art. So and then I got a curation. Somebody came up to me this morning. No, yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. It was early, and a woman walked up to me and she said she had pinstripes on, and then she said she wanted me to. She's been watching my art for years, not years, but yeah. She said she wants me to curate, and I was telling you about the building over here.
Oh, okay.
What's the building called?
Atlantic Palace?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not a palace, this one right here.
Oh, well, I know what you're talking about.
Boardwalk, something.
Right.
It's 2 towers right here.
Yeah.
So I have an appointment with her a couple of days. So just hopefully things will work out on that tip. But this is what art brings you, whether you do it directly or indirectly, and it affects a lot of people. And somebody says, the last thing I'll say was everybody's been around the world, right? Or everybody's been places, right?
Yeah.
You can say where you've been at. You can say. can anybody say, like the woman right here who decided to design a game, right?
Right.
Can anybody say, have they ever been to themselves?
I hear you.
That's it. I've said that, and I've seen that, and that's what I'm working on. You know, I've been this, I've been that, but have I ever been to myself? Internalized. You know, and that's where, you know, the truth lies, is in yourself. Like you had mentioned, you kept on seeing a reoccurring dream, right? And you kept on but you was focused throughout that dream, right? And you see, like if you see 444, you like